What's good, cuz? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm bringing you all another fantasy football video, and in today's video we're going to be doing a PPR mock draft for a 12-person league with the number 2 overall selection. I already did a video for the number 1 overall selection that came out earlier, so make sure to go check that video out. But if you're not sure who to draft for your team at the number 2 overall selection, or you're already drafted and you're wondering, did I do a good job or did I do a bad job, this is the video for you. If you're excited for this one, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button if you are new. I would greatly appreciate it. But without further ado, I hope you all enjoy the video, and let's get it.
Minika, watch me on Twitch, ooh, I'm streaming. I'm on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, red button beaming. Let's get that sub count, take over YouTube, ooh, we teaming. My content so high, ooh, yeah, I'm steaming. Ooh, yeah, I'm steaming. Red button beaming.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another fantasy video, and we are back on Sleeper with another mock 12-team PPR. Today, I will be having the number 2 overall selection. Already did a video today of the number 1 overall selection, so if you missed that video, make sure to go check that one out. But the draft league settings are going to be 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 flex with a wide receiver, running back, or tight end, and then the other flex position is only wide receivers and only tight ends with 1 defense, no kicker. So we're going to jump right into it. I will be doing 14 rounds for you all. I'm going to be giving you guys like an inside the mind here, give you some options of who I would take at every single pick throughout the 14 rounds. I'll be giving you some options because we don't know how it's going to play out in real life depending on what your league mates are actually going to draft. So for this draft, I will be drafting against computers. That way this draft moves a little bit quicker than if I drafted against real people. So instead of a 30 to 40 minute video, this will hopefully be not longer than 20 minutes. Let's not waste any more time. Let's jump into it and start this draft. Let's see who goes number 1. Obviously, it's going to be Christian McCaffrey. So if you have the number 2 pick, if the number 1 guy goes McCaffrey, which is very, very possible, which is probably the most likely thing to happen, you're not going to waste any time. You're just going to go with DALVIN Cook. Don't overthink this pick. Take DALVIN Cook. He's better than KAMARA and he's better than Derrick Henry. So go with DALVIN Cook at the 1-2. So as the first round ends, we have 9 running backs that go off the board. Now, if we're thinking here at the 2-11 and then the 3-2, what do we want to get here? The 2 picks we were actually going to look to get here was Darren Waller and possibly Calvin Ridley. And unfortunately, both of them did go. Those are the only tight ends or wide receivers I would think about picking at the 2-11 here. You definitely want to get at least 2 running backs, kind of like I did for the number 1 pick. At the turn here, you cannot allow yourself to not get at least a second running back to go behind DALVIN Cook, because after the 3-2, you're going to have to wait a little bit over 20 picks before you pick again. And about the 4-11, 5-2, there's not going to be great running backs available. Maybe not even good RB2s. As you'll see, there's about 12 to 13 running backs that have already been taken, and we're not even done with the second round. And in my opinion, I would go with a running back here before the person with the number 1 overall selection picks on the turn, because they're going to have 2 straight picks. So chances are they're going to be taking at least 1 running back, which means they're going to steal a pick from you. And the best running back available here, I don't think in real life will honestly fall to the 2-11, but he might depending on your draft, is Antonio Gibson. This guy is going to be a dual threat in Washington. Definitely the best running back available at that pick. As we'll see at the turn, this person actually didn't go with a running back. They went with Justin Jefferson and George Kittle, which is going to lead me to believe maybe we go with a triple running back strategy. Could go with somebody like Chris Carson. You can go with somebody like James Robinson with Travis Etienne now being out, or you can go with a wide receiver. There's no tight ends available that we like at this point, with Travis Kelce, Darren Waller, and now George Kittle off the board. So you're not going to reach for like TJ Hawkinson or Kyle Pitts at this point. You either go wide receiver here or you go running back. I'm leaning towards a triple running back strategy at this point for the guys that I named before. But if you wanted to go wide receiver here, you can go with AJ Brown, you can go with Keenan Allen, or Terry McLaurin. Those are the 3 options. In my opinion, in a full PPR, I would probably go with Keenan Allen. Him and Justin Herbert built a connection last year, and Keenan Allen has great reception production in PPR leagues. That's why I would probably go with Keenan Allen here at the 3-2 if you wanted to go receiver. But I usually like to get the running backs because, like I said, at the 4-11, 5-2, there might not be a lot of great running backs left. So I'm honestly going to go with triple running back again. I did it in the number 1 pick. I'm going to do it in the number 2 pick as well. And again, I'm going to go with James Robinson. So on the number 1 pick, I had McCaffrey, I had Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and then I think I had James Robinson. In this one, we're going to get Dalvin Cook, Antonio Gibson, and James Robinson. So now we are set for running backs. Are we going to be able to get an alpha number 1 wide receiver? Probably not, but we'll still be able to get a lot of depth here at the wide receiver position. As we'll see, actually, Amari Cooper is going to drop to us here at the 411, and Amari Cooper can potentially be that number 1 wide receiver for us. A lot of people are high on CeeDee Lamb. I do like CeeDee Lamb, but who knows who's really going to be that number 1 receiver in Dallas this year, especially if they have a bad defense. They're going to have to throw the ball a lot. So CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper can both eat. Who's going to eat more? I have no idea, but Amari Cooper is a very good pick at this point. So is Robert Woods, who is really good in PPR formats. Even Adam Thielen is a very good wide receiver. I'm not going to reach for Adam Thielen at the 411 or Robert Woods. We're going to hope that they fall back to us at the 5-2. We're probably going to go double wide receiver here because I don't like any of the tight ends available at the spot. I'm not going to go with TJ Hawkinson. I don't think he's going to be that good with Jared Goff. We'll have to see in Detroit. Maybe we'll get a lot of targets, but I don't think they're going to score a lot of touchdowns in Detroit, so I'm not going to go with Hawkinson there. I don't like Noah Fant at this point, and I don't like Dallas Goedert either. So I definitely think it's a double wide receiver for the 411 and the 5-2. And in my opinion, we're going to take Amari Cooper, who does have injury problems in the past. We're going to hope he can stay healthy, because if he does, he definitely can be a wide receiver 1 with Dak being fully healthy. And at the 412 and the 5-1, the computer actually went with Jamar Chase and DJ Moore. Now, I don't think you're going to be able to get Robert Woods in the 5th round. I'm going to be completely honest, especially if you're in a competitive league. I don't think you're going to get Robert Woods in that 5th round. So I'm honestly going to go with 3 guys that I like here. Like I said, Adam Thielen has good touchdown upside in Minnesota, has good connection with Kirk Cousins. He's not the number 1, but he's a good number 2, and we're drafting him as a wide receiver 2. Tyler Lockett, you know he's going to have those weeks where he booms, but he might have those weeks where he gives you like 5 points. So you don't want that. You don't want a boom or bust player on your team as your wide receiver 2. You like someone a little bit safer. I do like Brandon Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk has high upside, high touchdown upside, good route runner. If Debo or George Kittle at some point in the season do go down, Brandon Ayuk could be the wide receiver 1. He might even be the wide receiver 1 over Debo Samuel. I don't really know at the start of the season. We will have to see, but I really like Ayuk this year. But I'm going to play it safe because we do have Amari Cooper, who could be injury prone, and CD could be better than Amari Cooper. So I'm going to go with Adam Thielen. He's locked into his wide receiver 2 role in Minnesota and should be a wide receiver 2 for us on our football team. So we have potentially 3 running back 1s on this team, 3 top 12 running backs, a top 15 wide receiver in Amari Cooper if he's healthy, and then maybe a top 20 to 24 wide receiver in Adam Thielen. I really like this team at the number 2 spot. Honestly, I like this team better than the team we had at number 1. We have better wide receivers than we had before, and we might even have better running backs if we had McCaffrey over Cook. Definitely be better running backs, but Cook still very, very good. So now we're at the 611, and we do have 2 good wide receivers. We do have 3 good running backs. Let's take a look at the running back room if we wanted to add that 4th running back. But honestly here, I don't like anybody. The best possible guy here, in my opinion, would probably be betting on the upside of Trey Sermon in San Francisco, but we don't know if he's going to take the reins as the number 1 running back this year. That's strictly betting on upside in the 6th round. I'm not going to do that. I want to go for somebody who I know I could plug into my lineup and who is going to produce. So we're going to look to the wide receivers here, and I like 2 people again, Jerry Jeudy and Robbie Anderson, and even Jarvis Landry's pretty good. I don't really like Juju. I think Deontay's going to be better. Juju hasn't shown us that he could be a definitive fantasy producer in this league. The last time he was a productive wide receiver really was when Antonio Brown was on the team. So I'm going to stay away from Juju Smith-Schuster. I really like Jerry Jeudy. If we get good quarterback play from Teddy Bridgewater, Jeudy will be a very good wide receiver in this league. I definitely could see him finishing as a wide receiver 2. Could get a lot of targets, maybe have good touchdown luck this year if Denver does score a decent amount of touchdowns. Also, Robbie Anderson finished above DJ Moore last year in fantasy. I know DJ Moore, I think, was out for either 1 or 2 games last year, but still, Robbie Anderson finished as a pretty good wide receiver 2, but DJ Moore is going 2 full rounds ahead of Robbie Anderson. I really don't get that, and he has a connection with Sam Darnold back from the New York Jet days. So I'm going to go here with Jerry Jeudy, bet on the upside, and we're also going to be able to get here either Trey Sermon. If you wanted to go with that 4th running back, you could go with Trey Sermon here. That's not a bad pick if you want to bet on the upside, because if he becomes the running back 1 in San Francisco, you're going to have yourself 4 great running backs, and you do already have 3 really solid solid wide receivers. But I'm going to stack out the wide receivers, and then we'll look to running backs, look to tight ends, quarterbacks after this 7th selection here, and go with Robbie Anderson because he could break the week few any single week when he gets one of those long touchdowns. I think that's a very, very good pick. Now we're going to see what we have in round 8. So we are at the 8-11 now, and I was really hoping that Damian Harris was going to fall to us because I have high hopes for Damian Harris in New England. Really liked him last year. No more Sony Michel in New England, so I think he could be a really good running back in this league. His fantasy production, I'm not sure what he's going to be. Will he be a running back too? Will he be a high-end flex play at the running back spot? That would have been a nice pickup here, but unfortunately, he did not fall to us. So now what I'm going to look to here is the tight end position, and Logan Thomas looks really, really good in the end of the 8th round. Logan Thomas had a pretty solid season last year, especially towards the second half of the season, and I think he's definitely a good value pick for your tight end at the end of the 8th round here. So that is who we're going to go with here. Now, should we go with a running back? I don't really like anybody. You could go James Conner. Maybe he wins the job over Chase Edmonds in Arizona, but I'm not too fond of James Conner. You could go with him though, like I said, if you wanted. You could go with Nyheim Hines. You can go with Jamal Williams if you want to plug them in on bye weeks, maybe as a flex play. But the thing is, you're never going to know when to play Nyheim Hines because some weeks he goes off for 20 plus points and then other weeks goes for 2 points. So I don't really want him on my team. But like I said, if you want to pick him as a high-end flex play for certain weeks, maybe you can do that. But I'm going to go with a quarterback here that I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on. And honestly, I'll put him in the tier with guys like Matthew Stafford, Tom Brady, maybe even Justin Herbert. And that's Ryan Tannehill, because Ryan Tannehill is going to be in a very high-powered offense with Julio Jones, with A.J. Brown. They have Derrick Henry. Obviously, Derrick Henry doesn't catch a lot of balls, but Derrick Henry could put them in spots where they should be able to score a lot of touchdowns, where Ryan Tannehill can actually run the ball into the end zone. He has decent rushing upside. He could throw the ball to A.J. Brown, Julio Jones. I think Tannehill going to be a very good quarterback and a very good value pick. Now we're at the 10-11, and we have 5 more picks to make. So right now we have Tannehill, Dalvin Cook, Antonio Gibson, Amari Cooper, Adam Thielen, Logan Thomas, James Robinson, Jerry Jeudy, and Robbie Anderson. So we could use an extra running back. We have 4 wide receivers. We have the entire starting lineup filled out here. So you can go with Nyheim Hines or Jamal Williams here. These are the 2 guys, like I said earlier, I'm thinking about taking. Or you can go with Sony Michel. Sony Michel could have some upside. We'll see what happens between him and Darrell Henderson there in Los Angeles. They'll be splitting carries. Maybe Sony Michel gets some good touchdown luck on some weeks. I don't know how he's really going to perform in Los Angeles. We'll have to wait and see. But in the 10th round, if you want to pick Sony Michel, you could definitely go ahead and do that. But I'll take Nyheim Hines because they're going to be in a committee in Indianapolis, and he might get some passes. He might get some receptions on certain weeks. So I'm okay with taking Nyheim Hines there. Now at the 11-2 spot, I want to add another wide receiver to our team, and there's 2 guys that I really like. One being Marquez Callaway and the other being Jacoby Myers. Both of them could be the wide receiver 1 on their team. Callaway is definitely going to be the wide receiver 1 on his team, at least to start the year, with no Traquan Smith and no Michael Thomas for the beginning of the year. Callaway will definitely be the wide receiver 1 on the Saints. And then Jacoby Myers, I think he's a better all-around wide receiver than Nelson Aguilar. He's had good news in camp, good news in preseason. I think Jacoby Myers is a very good pick as well. But Callaway, because we know he's the definitive number 1 in New Orleans, we're going with Marquez Callaway here in the 11th round. So right now, our team, I feel like we have no holes. We have a decent tight end. If you want to say tight end is our biggest hole, Logan Thomas will be an okay tight end in the 8th round. He's not going to be a stud. He's not going to be George Kittle, not going to be Darren Waller, not going to be Travis Kelce. So at the 12-11 here, I really like the team. I don't think we have many holes in our squad here. If you want to say tight end or quarterback is, I like Tannehill. I definitely don't think he's a liability at the quarterback position. Logan Thomas, I think, will be like a top 8, top 9 tight end in the league. He's not going to be a George Kittle, not going to be a Darren Waller, not going to be a Travis Kelce, but maybe down the road, if our team is performing very well, maybe you can work a trade for one of those better tight ends like Kelce or Waller or Kittle. Maybe package Logan Thomas if Jerry Jeudy starts to become like a wide receiver 2, maybe even a wide receiver 1. Package those 2 guys together. Maybe Adam Thielen gets off to a good start. Maybe you could trade for one of those top tier tight ends, and then we'll be really good and still have a lot of depth on our team. So now we look to see who we want to take in the 12th and 13th round before we pick a defense in the 14th round. So maybe we'll go with 1 more running back and 1 more wide receiver. You could go with Sony Michel. Sony Michel is still here. I don't think in real life he'll still be here being on the Rams and he's splitting carries with Darrell Henderson, but I would definitely go with Sony Michel if he was here in real life. So you know what? We'll go ahead and take Sony Michel. If he happens to fall to you in the 12th round, definitely go ahead and select Sony Michel. That's a great pick. And then let's see who we want to get at the wide receiver position. Is Jacoby Myers still here? I feel like, again, in a real draft, Jacoby Myers probably won't be here. It looks like towards the end of these drafts here, the ADPs might be a little too high for some of these guys, because Callaway, Jacoby Myers, maybe even Russell Gage, they'll probably be gone at this point in the 13th round if you're in a competitive league. So Jacoby Myers will probably be gone, so I'll stay away from picking him. But Amon-Ra St. Brown on the Detroit Lions could be a beast for the Lions, could be their number one. No Kenny Golladay, no Marvin Jones. We'll see what Jared Goff and him could do, because this guy, I've heard a lot of good things. He could be a late round sleeper and be a late wide receiver run for the Detroit Lions. They're not going to be a high powered offense like I said earlier, but getting a potential wide receiver one on any team is awesome late in the rounds at round 13 here. And then lastly, we'll have to go ahead and select a defense to end off here. We'll just pick the Miami Dolphins. Again, I did that in the first pick draft as well. We'll just pick the Miami Dolphins, but I do know the 49ers do play the Detroit Lions in the first week of the season, and Jared Goff never plays good against the San Francisco 49ers, so I would definitely go get the San Francisco 49ers defense if you're actually looking to go pick up a defense. So here is the final team for the number 2 overall selection in a 12-team PPR mock draft. We have Dalvin Cook, Antonio Gibson, James Robinson. Excellent running back trio there. And then we still have some pretty good wide receivers, high-end wide receiver 2s, maybe even low-end wide receiver 1s in Amari Cooper if he stays healthy. We'll see if him or CeeDee Lamb is going to be the number 1 on the Cowboys this year. But with Dak being healthy, they both can eat. They both can be 1,000-yard receivers. We will have to see. Adam Thielen is locked into his wide receiver 2 role in Minnesota. He's a pretty suitable wide receiver 2 for your fantasy football teams. Then we have the upside of Jerry Jeudy and Robbie Anderson that maybe could replace Adam Thielen at some point in the year if they have good starts to the season. Logan Thomas, a top 8, top 9 tight end. We would like to improve our tight end a little bit. If you can get Robert Tonyan at the spot, I think that might be a little bit better. But like I said, maybe we could trade some of these wide receivers and Logan Thomas for a higher end tight end later on in the year. Then we have Ryan Tannehill, who I really like, with Julio Jones and AJ Brown in a high powered Titans offense. Nyheim Hines, just a late round running back to plug in for bye weeks, maybe a high end flex play. Just very difficult to tell when you can start Nyheim Hines, because they're going to be a committee in Indianapolis. Callaway is an excellent value pick in the 11th round, number 1 wide receiver for the New Orleans Saints. Sony Michel, if he's there in the 12th round, definitely go ahead and pick him. Gonna split carries with Darrell Henderson, probably get like 30% of the touches. Amon-Ra St. Brown, though, from the Detroit Lions in round 13 could be a steal if he becomes the number 1 for the Detroit Lions. Then we have the Miami Dolphins defense. So that's gonna do it for the number 2 overall selection. In the comments down below, give me your feedback. Let me know what you would have done differently, and let me know what you like that I did. But I really like this team. Okay, everyone, that's gonna do it for the video today. In the comments down below, let me know if you want to see pick 3 tomorrow. If you did enjoy this video, though, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for more fantasy football content. If you would like to, you can follow my social links, which are on the screen for you all right now, including my Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, stuff like that. But that's to do for me today, everyone. I'll see you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Peace out.